Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the live stream from Mondello Park for day 2 of round 3 of the Digital Motorsports ICCR, the initiative that promotes Irish circuit racing. We had great racing yesterday, but we had torrential conditions this morning. You wouldn't know whether you'd want an umbrella or you'd want sun cream. It's sun cream at the moment, but everybody in the paddock soaked through. Almost had to stop running this morning because there was a little bit of standing water around. Lucky enough, the drainage is good. The track is clear, and we're pretty much dry now. We've got a lot of action coming this afternoon. Behind me, the UK Toyo 7 Series. Great to have them over here. They've given us brilliant entertainment. They've been here since Thursday. They've had a good social element as well, I believe, and they had a great race yesterday. Ireland's Carl Leonard is in that race, so we'll be following his progress shortly. 2 different classes. I'll go through them when they come out on the grid in a few minutes' time. We've got the Zetec Safety Fiesta Zetec, the biggest grid of the weekend as ever. I think McGovern on pole for that one, and his brother on pole for the Say Super Cups. Also out Irish touring cars, Coffee to Go Fiesta STs. We've got loads of action. We've got Formula Boss Ireland, of course, and future classics, and plenty of action all to come on the live stream. So don't tune out all day. You'll be able to watch some absolutely fantastic action from Mondello Park. We're almost ready to go, as we said. The UK visitors, really welcome. Great to have them here, and they're lined up behind me in the pit lane getting ready for their session. So we're almost ready to go here at Mondello Park. When you join us now as the Toyo Tires 7 race series are out on their warm-up lap. They have been here since Thursday, tested on Thursday afternoon on the international circuit. A few of them tested again on Friday, and they had their first race yesterday. So 2 more races today. Great entertainment, really quick little cars and very well driven. 2 classes in this one, of course. There's the 420R class, which is 2-litre engines with sequential 6-speed sequential gearbox, very quick machine. Then there's a slightly slower class, the 310s, and the 310s have a 1800cc engine and a H pattern gearbox, but they're equally close fought, and there's a delay between them. We do run with a rolling start with these classes, but there'll be great battles all the way down the field. Main Irish interest, of course, is Carl Leonard. Qualified 3rd yesterday, but fell back in race 1, and will start 5th in this one. So row 3, number 17 on the inside of row 3 is Carl Leonard. Just see his green bonnet on the car there as they head towards us. Anthony Barnes on pole position, Jamie Winrow alongside him, then Jay McCormack, Mark Stansfield, Carl Leonard, Justin Armstrong, Gary Smith, Jose Migueles, Ian Cowley, Andy Perry, and all the rest coming through. It's a rolling start. They come out of outside Motor Factor's corner. They're getting ready to go. Watch Leonard, the 3rd car on the left, number 17, really keen for the top result on home ground. Away they go. Leonard jinks to the right to try and get a run there. We'll see when they get down to turn 1. Did he make it? No, he didn't. He's going to lose a place. In fact, somebody coming down the outside of him. So a little bit of standing water on the inside. They have to drive around the outside of that. But it looks like the poleman Barnes makes it through. Heading for Campion corner now, left-hand corner. Flat out in most cars, but still very greasy. Look at the ground there on the exit of turn 3. Here come the 310s. Great battles in this class yesterday between those two, 14 and 9. That's David Baldwin and Caroline Everett, who really kept him honest yesterday and closed them down towards the very end. That's her on the right and him on the left, 2 similar livery cars. So Baldwin and Everett, then it's Clark, Hemshaw, Winrow, Chiverall and Jake Poole. Meanwhile, the bigger engine cars coming down into the long left-hander Bridgestone corner, which leads them up Kennedy's Rise towards Lola corner. Good pack there. Carl Leonard having fallen back a little bit again, I think, there. Let's see if he can make up a few places. Big gap for the leader as they head up out onto the international loop. Local drivers get to use this twice this year. It's usually once at the September meeting, but we're running it at this meeting, and again for the Leinster Trophy meeting in September. This trophy comes back to Mondello Park. There's 17. That's Carl Leonard's shot, Green and Bray car, but not really in the mix just yet. But Carl, hugely experienced, would have cut his teeth racing Unos here many years ago, and then went all the way up to Porsche Super Cup. Actually took a win overall in Porsche Super Cup in a Pro-Am car. So he's got a little bit of work to do. These guys are very quick. Great to have UK classes back at Mondello Park. We haven't had them for a number of years, and we have some coming over for the Historic Festival, of course, next month. That's going to be massive. Great event here at Mondello Park. We had it last year, and the festival element was as big, if not bigger, than the racing element. So it's worth getting a flat cap and or some period dress and coming down to that one, even just for the social element. Back to racing. Barnes, the man on pole position. Safety car's out. We can see the marshals on the right waving around. So we've got an incident somewhere on track. Somebody's been off. Can't see that one just yet. Safety car is out. Being dispatched from the pit lane. Waves yellows. From the new starting entry there. Timing screen showing a safety car. Here it is, the all-electric BMW. Incredibly quick machine. It's a recent addition to the BMW fleet here at Mondello Park, and everybody very impressed by it. So Finn Gillespie, I think, is driving that today as a safety car driver. So that's any gaps that had been pulled out eliminated immediately. Of course, the reason for the way the safety car works is it slows the pack down so that any incidents can be removed or towed to one side without having to stop the race. Flashing orange light on the top of the car means that we are still behind safety car. When that light goes off, it indicates to the drivers behind, and indeed to us, that car will return to the pit lane on that lap. After it returns to the pit lane, it's up to the leading car to dictate the pace, and when he or she wants to put the foot down, is up to them. So you can back everybody right up, or you can try and get the jump and get a run for it. Stansfield it is leading this one from Barnes now, then Smith, Winrow, Migueles, Armstrong, Carl Leonard, 7th place, Andy Perry, 8th, Ian Cowley, 9th, and Philip Nagel rounding out the top 10. One of the cars off. It's right into the gravel, and in fact has been across to the bank, so the guys just looking at it, seeing is there any damage. There must be some damage. They would tow it out with the Jeep if it was if the 4 wheels were pointing in the same direction, so I'm assuming there's a little bit of suspension damage there. That's why the teleporter is being dispatched. So the teleporter just making its way towards the incident now. Should get that car lifted relatively quickly and back out, and we'll be able to go racing again. 16 minutes and 20 seconds to run this one. They're 20-minute races. They're longer than the usual races we run here at Mondello Park. So there we are. The driver's absolutely fine. Of course, the car's being lifted up. We brought back to the paddock. I'm sure that's fixable, but there is a little bit of front left suspension damage by the look of that. So hopefully that car will be back running later on. Quite sure where that is. It looks like turn 3, I think. Safety car slowing the pack right down, obviously in radio in touch with the officials in the tower. They will get them running this lap if they could slow them down just a little bit. That incident to be cleared, because it's a long lap, of course, on the international circuit, 3.5 kilometres. It was actually out on the international loop. That was. It wasn't a turn 3. So the lights are out on the BMW Ireland safety car. We're going to go racing at the end of this lap. So drivers weaving around trying to get a little bit of heat into their tyres. Maybe Barnes will try and stop Stansfield from making the jump that he made in race 1. In part 1 of this race. But still under caution, still under safety car. And you will see the BMW Ireland safety car now with the lights off. So once that car gets away and heads to the pit lane, as we said earlier, it's up to the leader, Mark Stansfield, to decide what he wants to do. Most experienced drivers will be well capable of holding them down. BMW is still leading the cars around, but he's just got 2 more corners to go and that car will pull off. Great view of the paddock in the background. Paddock absolutely packed today at Mondello Park. Good entries in all classes, and of course wonderful to have these Toyo Tires 7 race series with us this weekend. So it's Stansfield, Barnes, Smith, Winrow. And then in 310s, it's Baldwin, Henshaw, Winrow, Everett, Clark, Poole, and Chiverall. There's the BMW heading for the pit lane. So Stansfield, I should say, deciding to slow them right down. Maybe going to try and get the jump here with a late turn in and early on the power. Yeah, just nailing it at the apex, full racing line on the way out. First 2 have definitely got away a little bit. Now we're back racing. Stansfield goes through. Barnes right with him. A small gap to Gary Smith, Jamie Winrow, McAuliffe, Armstrong, Leonard, Perry, Cowley, Nagel, Oliphant, Tootle and Gary Tootle, Lewis and Gary. So great stuff, all back up to full racing speed. And the 310s right with them now. So they'll soon separate, I would imagine. Two leaders out at turn 3. Tricky double apex right-hander, really quick through the first bit, and then you've got to slow it right down and get turned in and get on the power uphill back towards the main arena here at Mondello. That loop, that corner and that loop were added when the circuit was a year old back in 1969. And then the national circuit turns right just here, but this international loop over 22 or 23 years ago was added. We're just going on to that now. New school building in the background. That's just been put up, so it makes it a separate circuit during the week for corporate events. 2 leaders beginning to ease away to the long right-hander Lola corner, or Parabolica as it was known. It's had 2 names during its lifetime, so depending on who you're speaking to in the paddock. Right up to top speed now in the back straight, and then hard on the brakes for the double apex right-hander 7A and 7B. 2 corners, but most of the drivers say they treat it as one. The first 2 definitely getting away. Green flags being waved there, just so everyone knows we're back racing on a couple of the marshals posts. Little bit of use of curb there. They've put stacks of tyres on the inside of the curbs, just the top drivers ramping straight over the curbs, which some of the saloon cars are famous for doing here at Mondello if they get a chance. So it's streaming through there. Great grid of these cars, almost 30 of these cars on track. Here they come. Stansfield with a little bit of a gap from Barnes this time. Trying to spot Carl Leonard there. I think he might have fallen back a little bit again. So the order is Stansfield, Barnes, Smith, Armstrong, Winrow down a place, Armstrong up to 4th, Andy Perry. No, Leonard still in 7th place. So 310s go through, and Baldwin has actually passed one of the 420s. Don Henshaw up to 2nd place, Stephen Clark in 3rd, Caroline Everett down to 4th place. She was very quick yesterday, perhaps finding it a little bit tricky out there. They all are. They've got a lot of power, rear wheel drive, don't have any traction control, and they run a Toyo pretty much track day tire. So there's a lot of driving in these cars. As you can see, I was out on circuit watching them during testing, and they move around quite a lot under the drivers. Bit of wheel-to-wheel action there through Bridgestone. So it's Stansfield leading, and the gap at 1.14 seconds as they went across the line the last time round. 9 minutes and 20 seconds still to run in this one, so plenty of laps still to go. Always different lines through here. That's not just the fact that they're visitors. You see in the Irish classes later on as well. Some people like to let the car run out quite early, others tend to try and take a later apex and get out to the very end of the exit curve before they use all the track. 7A and B, a distinctive dry line definitely appeared there now. We'll watch the lap times as they go by. The 55s actually already, so that's pretty quick. Leader getting an armful of opposite lock. Beautiful drift there from Stansfield. Barnes chasing him down. The gap was still at 1.1 seconds, so they're lapping on pretty much similar pace. All in over that inside curve, just cocking the inside front wheel there. Photographer's delight as they go through the Bahrain's bends, named after Martin Bahrain. Has it closed up? I think it's closed up a little bit at the front. Barnes on a good lap here. Very late on the brakes at the south side. It's turned in, but actually Stansfield a little bit quicker perhaps through there. Here they come towards us again. It was 1.1 seconds. Going to be about the same, is it? No, it's down to half a sec, 0.576 of a second. Fastest lap for Anthony Barnes, and 4 kilometers an hour quicker through the speed trap than the leader. 157.6 as opposed to 153.6. Fastest through the speed trap is actually Carl Leonard, 158.3, still in 7th place. Carl right in the middle of a battle there with Perry and Winrow. Leonard just going through shot there, first of that group. Nagel, Cowley, Russ Ollivant, Lewis and Gary Tootle there, and Tom Overton, David Baldwin, Don Henshaw. Go down into the 310s, Declan Dolan for 420, Caroline Everett in the 310, Winrow Poole, shivered over missing Jay McCormick of course after that safety car, and that car was off, but I think it's been returned to the paddock. So hopefully we'll see that car back out on track later on. Could have a race on up front. That gap slashed last time round, remember, and fastest lap for Anthony Barnes in 2nd place. Yeah, they're pretty much together now. We might see an attack into south side. They're through paddock here, the next corner, right up over that inside curve. Very quick corner. Carry a lot of speed through there, and he gets a good run, Barnes. Can he have a look up here on the brakes? Stansfield thinking the same way I was, and just momentarily shaded to the right there to defend the inside line, but didn't have to, and still gets a great run through there, the leader. He's very quick through that final corner, which is quite technical. You need a very late apex to get through there well. He goes through again, 54.4, 54.6 for Barnes, so the gap out by a 10th, but there's nothing in it really between them. They're quicker at different parts of the track, I think. Leonard up a place to 6th. Let's have a look. There he is going through picture, that green and grey car. So Leonard up a place. Saw this in qualifying. It took him a while to get going. He was way down the grid and then all of a sudden banged it up to third place. And yesterday in the race as well, started getting quick. Maybe he's trying different things with the car, but Carl Leonard now up to 6th place. It's Leonard just coming up out of turn 3, easing away from those cars that he's got by. That's Winrow behind him, Jamie Winrow. Leonard looks like he could be on a bit of a roll here. That's the car at the top of your screen there. Centre of the screen now. That green and grey car there. That's Carl Leonard. He's got away from those 2 cars he's passed. So there's 1st and 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Next car is Leonard. There he is. He's definitely closing up on these cars in front. So Carl Leonard beginning to wake up and get the head down now at Mondello Park for Irish pride. He doesn't want to finish too far back. These guys are really quick. He was saying that to us. It's a very competitive class. But he's having fun out there and he's definitely closing down those 2 cars in front. Justin Armstrong and Andy Perry are battling and Leonard is definitely closing them down now. Here we come up the hill, leaders going through the right and then left of Brains Bends one more time. 5 minutes still to go. There's Leonard drifting the car around a little bit, right over the curb. There's a good shot of him, number 17 now hard on the brakes and a very late apex into this corner. Honda corner or carousel depending on your era. But 1st and 2nd, that battle's not done just yet. I think with Barnes gets a great run again. He's very quick through paddock corner. Stansfield spots it and just goes to the centre of the track in case there's a big dive down the inside there. Leonard's lost a bit of time somewhere there. He was much closer to those guys last time round. He's got a clear track ahead though. See his lap time when he goes by. Fastest lap, Carl Leonard, 153.271. There you go, centre of the screen now. That car, fastest man on track is the Irishman, Carl Leonard. I wonder, can he get up a few more places? I suspect he can. 4 minutes and 21 to go now. So Carl Leonard, fastest lap and fastest in both sectors. So this is good stuff from Leonard, currently running P6. 53.2. The leaders doing 54.3 and 53.9 respectively. So Leonard quicker, far quicker than the 2 leaders on that lap. Here he comes. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 3rd and 4th. Still that battle is on. Didn't visibly look like he was catching them that much, but obviously a very quick lap from Leonard. The leader's still shaping up, but no real goes for the lead just yet. Leonard's slowed, he's dropping back there. Definitely there's some problem. He's gone back into the clutches of Winrow. He was way ahead. He was over a second ahead of Winrow at the start of this lap, so I'm not sure. We're not really following him. He's out of our shot there, but he has dropped back. There he is, top of the screen now. I'm not sure if he got out of shape through one of the quicker corners, but certainly dropping back. But the battle beginning to shape up, I think, up front. Mark Stansfield from Anthony Barnes. Barnes having a real go, and in fact joining them is Gary Smith. And Smith briefly had fastest lap before Leonard eclipsed it. So he's got plenty of pace. That's the 3rd place car there with the yellow nose cone, yellow roll cage. Just going out of shot now. Then Justin Armstrong in almost a gold leaf livery. It looks fantastic, that car in 4th place. Right up over the curbs, all of them. Oh, and way out wide. And all straight through a load of standing water. That won't do a whole lot of good. That's Andy Perry. Leonard just not close enough at all. So this is not going to be a good lap for Leonard. Stansfield goes through with Barnes right on him, 3/10, but we don't need a stopwatch. It's visual now. And Leonard 54.1 that time round. The rest of them all in the 53s. New fastest lap, Justin Armstrong 52.771. So it's not really a matter of Leonard slowing down. It's the rest of them speeding up. The track is obviously drying out here at Mondello Park. Sunshine would be helping. It's hard to believe we had torrential rain earlier on today. Here they come back down to Bridgestone one more time. Gary Smith now right with them. Armstrong and Perry not too far away either. Then a gap back to Leonard. Barnes with a good run through there. Tulola out onto the back straight. If you get a good run through there, you benefit all the way down the back straight. Looked like he was thinking about it there, didn't he? He just feinted to the right as if he was going to have a go on the brakes, but didn't. It's a good run through the first one. 7B now right in over the curb. 1.5 minutes to go. They're going to be starting their last lap when they come around to finish this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together. Great race. That's Stansfield, Barnes, Smith, Armstrong and Perry. Great stuff. Really is going to be a grandstand finish here, I think. Through the long left-hander. All line astern, nobody having a big lunge just yet. To paddock corner one more time. Perry thinking about it there, but Armstrong has that covered. Leonard all on his own. Here they come now, Stansfield. Starting what is going to be his last lap. Just 3.5 kilometres between him and victory here at Mondello Park. Barnes might have other ideas. And then Smith, Armstrong and Perry. Fastest lap to Perry, 51.940. 51.940. That's 53.2 the leader's doing. So watch out for Andy Perry in 5th place. There hasn't been any defending or scrapping really to slow them down. So that's really quick pace. It's a lot quicker than the cars in front. Currently running in 5th place. Still blue car at the top of your screen. There's Leonard. Side by side now for the lead on the final lap. Barnes, was he keeping his powder dry? Had a real go on the way up the hill there, starting to pile the pressure on. Last time through Lola corner. A little bit defensive for the leader, and Barnes lets it run out round the outside, unwinds the lock and stands on the power. Suddenly looking very aggressive is Anthony Barnes in 2nd place now. Really wants this win, but Stansfield's been very composed for the whole race. Down to 7A for the last time. No mistakes through 7B. Hard on the power on the way back up the hill now towards Brains Bends. Here they come. Once again, right in his wheel tracks is Anthony Barnes. Brains Bends. Nobody gets out of shape. No moves just yet. Perry looking very racy behind Armstrong there. But I wonder, is Barnes going to have a go at this outside corner on the last lap? He's right with the leader now. Up through the gears, sequential 6-speed gearbox in these cars. 2-litre engine, 170 something brake horsepower. Oh, he gets a good run through paddock. He's definitely closing. Here's a lunge, surely. No, it doesn't come. Stansfield holds the centre of the road. Barnes may get a slightly better run on the way out as a result, but it looks like it's going to be Mark Stansfield. Checkered flag is prepared. That's a great drive under huge pressure at the end. Mark Stansfield takes the win. Anthony Barnes in 2nd. Gary Smith in 3rd. Justin Armstrong 4th. Andy Perry with fastest lap in 5th place. Then Jamie Winrow gets by Carl Leonard on the last lap. So Winrow 6th, Leonard 7th. Legales 8th, Olivant 9th, and Philip Nagel rounding out the top 10. 310s should be coming towards us. They are. They're just going through paddock corner now. Checkered flag prepared for them. It's been a good scrap with them all the way through. Here they are, streaming them coming around south side corner. Up through the gears. H pattern, of course, not sequential in these cars. And David Baldwin takes his 2nd win of the weekend. Clark is 2nd. Henshaw 3rd. And Tom Overton right with them, although he's in a 420. And it's Declan Dolan. Caroline Everett coming through. She started on the front row and was very quick yesterday. Almost took the win yesterday, but not the same pace today. So maybe a wrong setup on the car or something. We'll see her back out later on. John Shiver and all the rest. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the first race of the day for the 7 Series Toyo tyres. Great to have them here from the UK. And again, the Beacon Hospital, thanks very much to them for helping us with the live stream here at Mondello Park.
Fiesta Zetec. Fiesta Zetec. Thank you.
So we're going racing again. The Coffee to Go, Dublin coffee chain, sponsoring the Fiesta STs for the second and third year now in a row, and a great grid of them. In fact, we could have had 2 or 3 more. We were heading for 20, but we had a couple of fallers during the week. Warm-up lap now for these cars. Nankang tyres this year for the first time round. They were running on Yokohamas before it changed to Nankangs. The guy's telling me there's a little bit of a different setup, stiffer sidewall on these tyres. Lap times a little bit slower, not much in it, but the guy's happy enough with them. Michael Cullen takes pole position in this one. He had 2 wins already yesterday here with LOH Motorsport. He had 4 wins at the last Mondello Park here. Very impressive stuff. 2 in Strikers and 2 in Fiesta STs. Now, he's already taken 2 Striker wins yesterday, despite the best efforts of Victor Cullen, his son, who gave him the big squeeze going by the grandstand when he took the lead off the line, giving us great entertainment. And he's to be aiming to get 2 more now. He missed the first race meeting of the season, Michael Cullen, and he took 2 wins in the last one. But Darragh McMullen, who's in 4th place here, took 2 wins the last time he was out, and he missed the last race meeting. So this is the first time we'll have seen them go head to head. Max Turley back on form. Bad meeting for him last time out. Wasn't happy with the gearbox in the car. Struggling to select gears. But that's obviously been sorted by Murray Motorsport. Great lap from him this morning. Cullen on pole, Max Turley alongside him. Victor Cullen in 3rd place. Victor's been going very, very well. He's been missing from the grids this year, Victor, because he's been doing his leaving cert. He's finished his leaving cert, passed his driving test, he's on the road, and he was in Linden Hill making his historic race debut at a Lotus Cortina a couple of weeks back and managed to bring that home on the podium. So very much improving every time he goes out. Then Darragh McMullen, very quick, very smooth. Watch out for him. He was quick last time out, as we said. He got 2 wins and fastest lap. Then Cian O'Brien, the young charger in the class 555 in the O'Brien Motorsport and Pro Tune car. Roy White alongside him in Murray Motorsport. Roy, very well known and very successful in rallying, but getting used to the roundy stuff, as he says. Then John Elliff, good qualifying for him. Trevor Farrar, beautifully presented as always. Watch out for 25, Sylvie Bartlett. He really impressed us here the last day. Driver of the day in this class. In the second race when they reversed the top 6, he led and made Michael Cullen work very, very hard to get by him. Chris Jones, who's taken a huge step forward in the Murray Motorsport car, alongside him. Great pace from him. Christopher Grimes Jr., Gary Lynch, great to see Gary back out. Wayne Laverick, Declan O'Driscoll, and Christopher Grimes Sr. completing the order in this one. So they're weaving around, trying to get a little bit of heat into the tyres. The track pretty much perfectly dry now. Easy for me to say, I know, but it is. I can see the last corner. There's certainly no moisture on the track there. So it's LOH Motorsport versus Murray Motorsport on the front row of the grid. 2 of the top teams in Irish motorsport running these Fiesta STs. Good weekend for LOH so far. They've 3 wins in the bag already because they took 2 Striker wins with Michael Cullen yesterday, and then Dan Polly, superb drive from Dan Polly in Formula V yesterday. And Formula V is so competitive at the moment. It's really, really quick drivers at the top end of that one. So he did well to take that win, Dan Polly. He's had a load of pole positions, hasn't managed to convert them yesterday. He was superb. A restart didn't bother him. This is a good grid now of STs. A little bit smaller last time around, but I have a feeling they're going to be at 20 shortly. They're still growing. And a few cars sitting around. We had more cars testing on Friday, a couple of issues. So getting ready to go. Somebody out of, that's Victor, Chris. Who's it going to be? Turley or Cullen? Oh, Michael Cullen gets a cracking start. McMullen gets a belter from the second row. He's down the outside of Turley. It's 3 abreast now, heading down towards turn 1 under the BMW Ireland Bridge. And Turley looks to the inside. McMullen is so late on the brakes. He's down the outside and he's side by side with Cullen. I think he's possibly going to get around Max Turley here, is he? Oh, Turley gives him a little touch on the quarter panel there, but they separate on the way out of the corner. And McMullen is up to second place. That's a great start from him. So Cullen versus McMullen is what we wanted to see. John Kenny wrote about it in the Star during the week. We haven't seen these 2 head to head yet in 2023. I think we're about to, and Max Turley right with them. Victor Cullen next up in the second Beacon car. Then it's, is that Farrar? It is a good start from Farrar. Then Roy White, Cian O'Brien, Grimes Jr., Chris Jones, all the rest, Gary Lynch. So here they come down into Bridgestone. Michael Cullen just ahead of Darren McMullen. McMullen fourth on the grid, up to second straight away. So he did that one well. She'll try not to let Michael Cullen get away. Cullen had a massive advantage here in testing on Friday over everybody else. He's a little bit closer this morning in qualifying, but certainly in testing there was nobody to touch him. So let's see if he's going to display that pace. Now Victor Cullen looking good here. He's hanging on to that as well. Turley lets the car run out to the outside. He gets a little bit of a run. Just didn't scrub off any speed. Unwound the lock and flicks to the inside there. McMullen sees it coming, defends. Cullen's going to love this in the mirrors. He won't be watching the boys scrapping behind him, but he doesn't get away. In fact, he slows right down. McMullen has to lift out of it, and Turley gets up the inside. Whatever happened there, Michael Cullen almost came to a halt, and I think McMullen must have had to come off the power there, and that allowed Turley down the inside. McMullen sitting down the outside behind him though. Turley has the inside line, should make this stick, but no, McMullen sits around the outside and hangs on to it somehow. They're elbow to elbow now as they go on the brakes into the long left-hander. Turley going to try and go around the outside. That generally doesn't work here, and it doesn't work for him. Victor Cullen looking to stick the nose down the inside. He's bringing Ferrar with him. There's been great racing in this coffee to go back to class this year. It doesn't look like that's going to change today, but all this is letting Michael Cullen away. Turley out over the curbs. McMullen cocking in inside rear wheel. McMullen has no choice but to go defensive because Turley's so aggressive down the outside now, looking for a switch back to the inside. Doesn't get it done. McMullen goes defensive again. I'm surprised Michael Cullen has not just walked away from these guys. He's inching away a little bit, but they're scrapping, and I think if they stop this, they might have the pace to challenge him. Turley again down the outside, hard on the brakes, the car moving around under him. Then it's Cullen, Ferrar, Roy White, O'Brien, Grimes, Jones, Laverick, Bartlett, O'Driscoll, and all the rest coming through. Oh, out of shape there at Campion Corner was McMullen, but he held on to it, and wrong-footed was Turley, who slows. That allows Victor Cullen up into third place, and down the outside goes Trevor Ferrar. He's going to have to get back in there. He'll get boxed out, and Roy White will have a go. It's a great scrap in this one. Cullen is beginning to ease away, but he wasn't the full, well, I was going to say he wasn't the full second away when they went across the line, but that moment at Campion Corner at turn 2 has slowed them all right down. So McMullen having to go uber defensive. It's Victor Cullen is next up to have a go at him now. Victor would love a 1-2 here, as indeed would LOH Motorsport. Michael Cullen, no doubt, watching this one with great interest in his rearview mirror. Side by side now for Cian O'Brien, trying to get by Roy White. None of this bothering Michael Cullen as he goes through Lola Corner, right out to the outside. Oh, there's a lot of action in the background. 3-4 cars side by side. You see it on the left of your screen there. Great stuff. That's Ferrar. Cian O'Brien on a charge. He's got by 2 cars already. He's gone by Grimes and he's gone by White, I think. Grimes having a look around the outside of White, but having to back out of that one. Jones having a look there as well as Victor Cullen begins to move around. In fact, a good run through 7A and B has got McMullen away from them, and now Max Turley is piling the power onto the pressure onto Victor Cullen. Here's Ferrar. Here's young O'Brien, 555. He's gone very well this year in that car, carrying a tribute to Sean Woods. Of course, he still has Sean Woods Racing stickers on the car. He's up from that area. We always get quick drivers from the Dundalk area. We had a new one out yesterday, Logan Hoy. Damage in the front of Bartlett's car there. The ex-Phil Lawless machine. To the double right-hander, still McMullen getting away. 6-7 for him last time, and a 7-4-9-9 for Turley. Just going by in the foreground. It's all beginning to get a little bit spaced out here, certainly in terms of second, third and fourth. 2.5 minutes to run. Cullen still pushing hard there up over that inside curb. Victor Cullen having a look, but Turley not being ruffled by that at all. Or is he? Did he miss the apex slightly there? Victor Cullen getting a better run on the way out. Ferrar, still Ferrar holding off Cian O'Brien. 3 abreast in the background there. Bartlett has got by 2 cars in that lap. Here he comes on the left-hand side. Bartlett with that damage on the front. And there's smoke from the back of Elif's car. I wonder was there contact there? They're out of shot now. But there's definitely smoke coming from the back of John Elif's car. And that's brought Laverick back up to them. He was way back. So there's obviously something has happened out there off screen. Waiting to see what's happening behind this group now. Grimes all on his own. Then it's Bartlett. Then it's a big gap back. Still Elif from Roy White. Then Laverick. Then O'Driscoll coming through, and Chris Jones. Or Gary Lynch, I should say. Keane O'Brien with a good run on Ferrari now on the way up the hill there, but Trevor Ferrari, very experienced, came up from Zetec Fiestas. Has one eye on the mirrors all the time here. A lot of smoke from the back of that Elif car. Doesn't seem to be impeding it too much, or is it? No, they've gone around the outside of there, so maybe it is. That's Bartlett around the outside of him into Lola corner. Still smoke coming from the rear right on that car. Not sure if it's a bumper rubbing on a tyre. As Keane O'Brien still piles the pressure on there. On Trevor Ferrari, that's for 5th place. Max Turley has caught McMullen. He was 1.2 seconds behind him at the start of this lap. It's a good lap from Turley now, late on in the race. McMullen doesn't quite get to the apex, and Turley really moving around behind him, getting the ST hops, and again kicking up a little bit of dust on the outside. Great stuff from Turley here. He's so aggressive. Right up onto 2 wheels, all the curb, and a little bit more right out on the ragged edge is Max Turley here, but he's hauled himself back up onto McMullen's tail again, maybe to have a last lap effort. Michael Cullen goes by with 16 seconds on the clock, so we have one more lap to run. This is it for these two guys. Who's going to come second? 3.5 kilometres to run. It's McMullen just about. Turley almost pushing him on the main straight, pulls out to the outside. He's late on the brakes, he gets the nose almost ahead, but he's not going to get around the outside there. Switches back to the inside again. He really is piling the pressure on Darragh McMullen now on this the final lap, and flicks the car to the left through Campion corner, try and get it alongside. That's a very unorthodox attempt at getting by, but it's something could just stick here. He really is giving the work over now to Darragh McMullen, but McMullen looks particularly unruffled. He's holding the inside line there, not leaving any gap, no invitations. Turley goes up over the curb anyway on the inside. He really is having a go. Top class saloon car racing from these two guys. So on the final lap now, this is the battle for second place. Michael Cullen is away down the road, but this is far from settled. I think Turley will surely have another go into 7A or at Southside on the last lap. Victor Cullen getting a grandstand view of this one in 4th place. There they are going up to the top of the hill. There's no gap. In fact, he goes to the outside to get a run, does Turley. Here they come. They'll be coming into shot just now. There they go, and look at Turley unwinding the lock and trying to run around the outside. He's almost done it. He's carried incredible speed. He's on the grass on the outside. The bumper's hanging off the car. He's on a last lap charge. Turley on the outside, McMullen on the inside. This is great stuff. Well, this time it's McMullen who's laid on the brakes. Turley looks to give him a taste of his own medicine and tries for a switch back at 7B. He backs out of it though. This is hard racing, but it's clean between these two guys. It really is. And this is going to be some battle. Whoever gets second place is going to deserve this one. They're having a real go now through the right for the last time of Rains Bend. Up over the curb, a little bit of a hop through the left-hander again. No mistakes from McMullen now. And bits hanging off Turley's car behind. He's great value. If it was pay-per-view, you'd be getting your money's worth here, because Turley really giving us entertainment. He's dropping back though. I wonder, are the front tires past their best? He's out over that curb again. And McMullen's still unruffled through paddock for the last time. Michael Cullen's going to take the checkered flag, but I think that's probably settled it for second place. But certainly highly entertaining all season this year. There's Michael Cullen for LOH Motorsport in the Beacon Hospital. He takes his 3rd win of the weekend. Have a think about that. It's impressive stuff. But Darragh McMullen, equally well deserved. Great run to second place. And the entertainer in 3rd place is Max Turley, with Victor Cullen right with him. And Keane O'Brien gets a run going across the line. He sat looking at the back of Ferrari's car for the whole race, and he did a massive effort in the last lap. But Trevor Ferrari, again, a bit like McMullen, unruffled all the way through, just kept one eye on the mirrors, and he gets that one by just 0.065 of a second. Grimes Jr. is 7th, Sylvie Bartlett is 8th, Wayne Laverick is 9th, Roy White back to 10th place, Declan O'Driscoll 11th. Are we missing John Elif? I think we are. Yeah, Gary Lynch next up. Then it's going to be Chris Jones. And then Christopher Grimes Sr. So Elif obviously pulled in there with a problem at the back of that car. Well, there you go. Fantastic saloon car racing. And that grid will be reversed later on for the top 6. So Keane O'Brien for O'Brien Motorsport, the young Dundalk man, will take pole position for the race 2 ahead of Trevor Ferrari, Victor Cullen, Max Turley, Darragh McMullen and Michael Cullen. So there's your official result. Cullen, McMullen, Turley, Victor Cullen, Trevor Ferrari, Keane O'Brien, Christopher Grimes Jr., Sylvie Bartlett, Wayne Laverick and Roy White. Great entertainment from the Coffee to Go Fiesta STs. So yet another win for Michael Cullen. As we said, that's 3 this weekend. A message in from Niamh Crilly sending best wishes to Michael Cullen. A shout out from there. So great stuff, Niamh, to have you tuned in. Glad to get you back down here soon. But Michael Cullen with 3 wins out of 4. Just one more to do. It's not a big ask, but he just starts 6th from the next one. So next up is going to be the biggest grid of the weekend, the Zetec Safety. Neil Murphy's West Dublin-based safety and workwear supply company will be sponsoring the Fiesta Zetec again, the third year sponsoring them, and they've grown massively. The class benefits from reduced entry fees. They're subsidised by Mondello Park. It has professional photography. It's got loads of. Neil gets really cool trophies for the class. It's a good class of racing. There's a rookie cup introduced last year, and that's really close fought. And some of the rookies get right up the front. And when I say up the front, there's really experienced, successful drivers up the front of it. They might be a budget series, but the level is very high. The talent is very high. They also do a 6-hour race here at Mondello Park. You can race 3 or 4 drivers in the one car. Anybody can do that. So you get rally guys having a go, people that never raced before having a go. That's in November, the first weekend of November, the 5th, I think it is, of November, the Mondello Park 6-hour race in these Zetecs. They'll be out on track in just a few minutes' time. So let's take a quick commercial break before the budget tin tops take to the track here at Mondello Park.
Continental Tires, Irish Compact Car of the Year 2023. Speaks for itself. The new Opel Astra.
There we are, we're ready to go. Huge grid of these cars as ever. On pole position will be Sean McGovern. So the 2 McGoverns on pole for 2 different races today. Sayet and Fiesta Zetec, Dave McGuire. So McGovern and McGuire are 2 names very well known to us here at Mondello Park, but these are the next generation that are on the front row. Sean McGovern's father, of course, Rod McGovern, multiple champion, and David McGuire Jr. as opposed to David McGuire Sr., another very successful tin top racer currently racing in the Sayet Super Cup. Then it's James Byrne, who won the Rookie Cup last year. It's Derek Graham, the very welcome Northern Ireland visitor, former multiple champion in many classes as well. Then Keith Rabbit, ever spectacular. Michael Barrable, experience and speed there, watch out for him, he's second in the championship. Jason O'Connell, the top rookie, 7th overall, incredible stuff from him again. He really is impressing us this year, watch out for him. Mark O'Donoghue, great to see him going well. He says fixed a load of problems with the car. Then Alan Dawson, way back in 9th place. I think he is leading the championship at the moment, but 3 seconds off this morning. Won't be happy about that in wet qualifying. Then Ian Fishburne, then Eduardo Gonzaga, our Brazilian racer. Josh Brown is 2nd in the rookies and 12th overall. Very impressive stuff. Garrett Burke in the Tire Brigade car. Cole McLaughlin, and then it's Richie Byrne, Mick Keogh, Christian Brennan. Good run from Christian Brennan there. He's down on power. They're trying to sort out a problem with that car, but obviously that didn't bother him with wet conditions. Kelsey Kirby is 18th, then Matthew Tyrrell, then Emma Dempsey, Lorcan McGivney, Stephen Cullinan, Adam O'Mahony, Chloe Kellett. Great to have Chloe back on the grids. Patch, the racing driver. Brian Matthews, the man who sponsored this class when he came in first. That's him in the purple Craig Breen tribute livery car. Beautiful car, and that's been down at the Tire Brigade, or the Zetec clinic as it's known these days, down in Athlone, Ulick Burke's place, and he's had a look at that car and has got it going a lot better. Then Laura Hannon, her car's been down there recently as well. Then Evan Harding, first time out, great to see. Then it's Jordan Flanagan, Sam Keogh, Hannah Selsey and Alan Turner. So great to have new names on the grid here. And a packed grid again. They're weaving around. They run the same tyre as the Fiesta STs, 1 inch smaller. They're 14 inches instead of 15s, but they run this Nankang tyre. So again, a little bit of setup, tyre pressures and stuff had to be changed, but they're doing on the national track pretty much the same times they were doing previously. So all moving around, trying to get a little bit of heat into those tyres before they get going. A lot of these guys, first time ever on the international track. I think 17 of the cars registered this year are rookies. So it's a good class for introducing people to motorsport. You can buy these cars you can buy project cars for somewhere between €2,000 and €3,000, a little bit more for a competitive car, but there are always 1 or 2 for sale. There are a lot of them in the country, a lot of them on track, as we can see as well. Lorcan McGivney going 2-shot, another beautifully turned out car. Jordan Flanagan there, Laura Hannon in the digital motorsports car. 199 Evan Harding, beautiful car, that green car. It's the first time we've seen that one out. 25, the Jerry Caffrey Motors car, that's Alan Turner, another newbie in the class. First ever race, so big pressure for somebody in their first ever race. They just want the lights to change and get away. Certainly it's very daunting to be sitting in assembly for your first race and then heading down and around the warm-up lap to get a bit of heat in the tyres. But a great entry-level class, these cars. They don't particularly have a whole lot of power, somewhere around 80 brake horsepower, but they all have that kind of power. The scrutiny is very, very tight on these cars, and they've a speed trap on the main straight, and the scrutineers have a radar gun. So they also have Ford scan tools and parts to check out everything. So they're all really, really equal. In the dry, I think there were something like 16 cars qualified in less than a second of each other. So it's all about driver skill in this one. So the qualifying was in the wet, and it's dry now. So that might see some quicker guys back down the grid, or vice versa. But let's see how it goes. McGovern lines up on pole position in that soft recruit car. The JMC car and Jerry Maguire and Sons car of Dave Maguire, run by LOH Motorsport. There's Neil Murphy down there from Zetec Safety. He's very much involved in this class, as well as being the commercial partner. So Sonic 66, the second row of the grid, Danger Man. That's our rookie champion from last year. James Byrne, always good to watch. Derek Graham, really experienced, really quick in the vehicle. Screens car on the outside, the front row. Then the Rapco car of Keith Rabbit and the MB Motors car of Michael Barrable. Should be getting ready to go. They're still lining up at the back, full grid of these cars, and great to see it. And remember, some of these guys having their first ever race at Mondello Park. I think they're all in place now. Somebody doing a little bit of reversing. Sam Keogh, that is. I think he was 3 abreast at one stage, but he's gone back to his starting position now. Not quite. Sam Keogh still doing a little bit of manoeuvring at the back. Clerk of the course will be watching this. Clerk of the course is happy. Radio message to the starter. The 5-second board is up. Who's it going to be? Maguire gets a good start, but McGovern gets a better one. Maguire's clever enough to go straight in behind him. Doesn't leave the gap open. Michael Barrable with a cracker is right up onto the bumper of James Byrne now as they head down towards the first corner. But it's McGovern. Maguire goes to the outside, leaves the door open surely for Byrne, but he wants to have a run round the outside of McGovern, but he's understeered wide, and that's cost him 1-2 places. Michael Barrable there, really good first corner for him, I feel. Well up, a little bit of elbowing there. That was Laura Hannon and somebody else. Kelsey Kirby gone wide there on the outside and right to the back. But a little bit of elbowing between 2 cars there. And there's Keith Rabbit now and Derek Graham. They've boxed Michael Barrable out to the outside. Then it's O'Donoghue. He goes high and wide and just opens the door for Alan Dawson to go down the inside there. So Derek Graham gets round the outside of Keith Rabbit there, I think, or certainly is leading him as they head back up the hill. Stephen Cullinan coming through, Matthew Tyrrell, all the rest. A locked inside wheel from James Byrne. He's up to second place. Maguire demoted back to third. Then it's Derek Graham, but down the inside of him is Keith Rabbit. Rabbit, has he got that place? Not quite. They're side by side on the way up the hill. And Michael Barrable, who am I going to back here? I think I'll back Derek Graham, and goes to the inside. Michael Barrable looking for any angle. Huge experience from Michael Barrable, former champion in this class. So here they come now through the long right-hander, and Dave Maguire happy like Mark Turley to sit around the outside there. An unusual manoeuvre. And Alan Dawson, Barrable and Keith Rabbit side by side, 3 abreast now. Derek Graham looking at all this in his mirrors. Who's going to be last at the late breakers? Rabbit's thinking about it, but Dawson has the inside line. That should get him through. Keith Rabbit goes off at the outside. Barrable takes that one from him. Then it's Mark O'Donoghue and Ian Fishburne. And it's Jason O'Connell leading the rookies, but only just. I think that's Josh Brown right with him. Another really quick novice driver. Josh Brown going well. Here they come back towards us. Great battles all the way down this grid. Just look at that. Gonzaga up a couple of places as well. There's Garrett Burke going through. Mark O'Donoghue, I think that has fallen back a little bit, whatever happened. There's Tyrrell going through. Barrable's got up the inside of Alan Dawson now on the way out of the long left-hander heading for Paddock. And Barrable has the inside here, should be able to assert himself. Indeed he is. Dawson tries to sit around the outside. Oh, Alan Dawson just straight into somebody there. That's Keith Rabbit. I'm not sure what happened there, but just straight into the side of Keith Rabbit there for Alan Dawson. It's only cost himself a couple of places. But it's all, they're beginning to bundle each other just a little bit off, try and get into the inside to protect their place. That's what O'Donoghue does, that's what Rabbit does. That leaves Dawson on the outside. Look at this, Mick Keogh going through in that beautiful Dunnigan Motors car. Barrable goes high and wide, he'll probably get away if he can get turned in here. Whereas Rabbit has to go defensive. Rabbit's ahead of Dawson, then it's O'Donoghue, Fishburne. Jason O'Connell under pressure now from Josh Brown. That's for the rookie win, remember. It's all settled out front, McGovern from Maguire and Byrne, but it's Armageddon in the background. It's great racing here as they head back down towards turn 3 again. That's Fishburne in the back of Mark O'Donoghue. To the first apex, that's Josh Brown again. I think this is only a second race meeting. Jason O'Connell just in front of him, but that's for rookie honours. They're ahead of Gonzaga, they're ahead of Mick Keogh. Emma Dempsey on the outside there. Garrett Burke in the mix too in the Tire Brigade car. Keith Rabbit down into the SS, Alan Dawson right with him. And so O'Donoghue, Fishburne, O'Connell and Brown. The rookie's going really well in this one. Side by side now Gonzaga and Mick Keogh. To the long left-hander. Both of the young drivers letting the cars run wide out to the outside, as indeed does Derek Graham. Most of them are doing that. A couple going to the inside, but only trying to make up places, I think. Out onto the back straight now. McGovern still leads, but Maguire beginning to pile the pressure on. Morgan Dempsey run car of McGovern and the LOH Motorsport car of Dave Maguire. And it's James Byrne, Derek Graham all on his own, Barrable on his own as well, then Keith Rabbit. Thinking about a look down the inside there was Dave Maguire. Both of the cars bouncing around a little bit. Pretty much standard suspension on these cars. That's why they're so cheap to build, to run. They run a KYB shock, a standard Ford spec, and a lowering spring. So the shocks are not racing shocks, they're not adjustable. Roll cage, seat, and all your usual safety requirements. That's pretty much it. You can raise the compression ratio slightly. That's all in terms of performance. But great cars for drivers to cut their teeth in. And we always get good entertainment from them. It's beginning to close up the front and settling down a little bit behind them, I think.
Final call for all players. Final call for all
Massive battle for the rookie lead at the top of your screen there. They're side by side. In fact, Josh Brown has taken the rookie lead. They're just at the top of your screen now. These two black and white cars together. There's Fishburne. These two cars are side by side. That's for the rookie lead. And they're well up the grid, these guys. It's very impressive stuff. All the rest of the cars streaming through. It's Eduardo Gonzaga trying to mix it with the two rookies there. And then next up is Mick Keogh and Ian Fishburne. Great grid of these cars, all still running. Well, McGovern goes very wide, gets the hops and the bounces on the outside. That allows Maguire alongside, but the next one's a left-hander. He should be all right here, but they're side by side now coming back into the main arena. McGovern on the inside, Maguire on the outside. James Byrne getting a great view of this. Tucks in behind him again. Very experienced sim racer, Dave Maguire. Not that experienced actually in a race car, although he has had a podium out of nowhere in Fiesta STs when he had to go in his dad's car. And he went really well here at the last race meeting, so obviously well able to steer. McGovern just unwinding the lock. They're all trying to use as much of the track as they can and not scrub off any speed, but McGovern actually doesn't use all the track because he doesn't want to leave a gap on the inside. I think he saw Maguire coming there and just kept to the inside just a little bit. He's doing the same again into 7A and B. That's going to allow James Byrne up to limit to slow them down a little bit. And here he comes in the Dead Magic car, right up over the curb. In fact, he's with them already. And Derek Graham and Michael Barrable, Rabbit, Dawson, Fishburne. First three together now. Still 9 minutes to go in this one, so no, we're not even near half distance yet. The soft recruit car number 15 ahead of the JMC car. Byrne right with them. Keith Rabbit in the background locking the wheel there. He's got away from Alan Dawson, closing in perhaps a little bit on Michael Barrable. Here they come up towards the south side one more time. All very much apart. Let's check the rookies coming up the hill here. And it is Josh Brown still in the lead of the rookies. The man on the charge there is Mick Keogh. That's him up over the inside curve in the blue and white car. He's got by Gonzaga that lap. And he's now right up behind those two rookies. So Mick Keogh up a couple of places on that one. Oh, Maguire looking down the inside. McGovern's gone wide. Maguire down the inside. He's side by side. McCarthy in corner. Can you sit around the outside? You can't in most cars, but you can in a Zetec Fiesta. They've got so much grip. They're a little bit overtired. I don't mean sleepy. They've got a lot of grip, these cars, and you can sit around the outside quite a lot. You see some of the top drivers doing it round. They could do 2 or 3 corners together, side by side. But McGovern had enough pace there. Oh, a little bit of a help from Maguire there, but square on, no harm really. Goes a little bit wide as a result, though, on the way back up, and that allows Maguire to almost get alongside. If James Byrne can stick to the inside here, he could get himself a place. No, he goes high and wide. Maguire happy enough to sit around the outside and try it there, but I don't think that's going to get him any gain. And now Byrne gets alongside. Byrne did that to perfection. He stayed out wide on the way in. It's Sam Keogh, man that was doing the manoeuvring on the grid. I'm not sure where he's going now. He's an indicator on, but looks like he's going to stop on track. And if he doesn't pull that car onto the grass, it's going to cause a safety car. I think they should be able to remove that car, but I'm not sure what's happening there. Yellow flag's being waved. Snatch unit being dispatched. Looks like we're going to have to get a safety car. Red flags are out. Well, that is such a shame. We're having a great race there, but McGovern, Maguire, Byrne, Graham, Barrable, Rabbit, Dawson, Fishburne, Mark O'Donoghue and Josh Brown was the top 10 when they went by us last time round. There's 6 minutes 51 to go, so it's not quite 2/3 distance. We may get a restart here. Very odd. He looked like he was going to turn over to the right, then went left, but didn't pull onto the grass. So it's half on track and half on the grass. So they need to get that car pushed in. And he's certainly not getting out to help. The marshals are doing a good job there. They get that car off, and we can't restart it, or we can't pull a safety car because we didn't go with a safety car. Very dangerous having a car parked on the track on the main straight. So called a stoppage, so red flag's still waving, so the race is stopped. The marshals patting each other in the back there. Great job as ever from the Mondello Park track team. We've got brilliant marshals here at Mondello Park. You see how quick they were on that incident and how quick they got the car moved away, and they're going back to their posts now. Thankfully they've got a bit of good weather, because everybody here got absolutely hammered with rain this morning. It was biblical weather at Mondello Park. Thankfully it's gone, and out over turn 3 is clear, which is generally our indicator here at Mondello Park. It looks like we're coming down for a regrid and a restart. All the cars still running. Showing timing screen showing checkered flag. Okay, so 6 minutes 45 still to go. Okay, there's the incident. That's car number 47 is off. That's Adam O'Mahony. Some rescue unit out there. They'll just get that car brought back in. It's down at turn 3. It looks like second apex at turn 3. So we'll probably have to have a regrid and then a parade lap, so we might get a quick commercial break in while we're waiting for that one. Certainly going to be a few minutes before we restart here. Teleporter being deployed there. Bring that car back in. It's obviously a little bit of suspension damage. Something else looks a bit askew at the front, actually. Car being lifted, should be back in the paddock shortly. There we are, 47 heading back towards the paddock. So we're going to have a restarted race. We just heard from the timing guys, timing.ie there, 7-minute race, 1 green flag lap and a 7-minute race. So they're being regridded now. McGovern and Dave McGuire waving at each other. They're communicating with each other. Good buddies, these guys. And they seem to be both having great fun. It was a good battle between them there. One, that's Deco Nolan on the left, telling them they've won warm-up lap. Deco, well known to a safety car driver here at Mondello Park, a former top rally crosser. That's Fergus Brennan, our starter. He's just helping grid up these cars. Big grid of them as ever. All running, I think, bar one. We're going to get plenty more entertainment, full 7 minutes of it as soon as we get these cars gridded up. Quick warm-up lap around again. It's going to be McGovern versus Maguire once more at the front. Highly entertaining stuff from the Zetec Safety Fiestas. So Zetec Safety, a partner with Mondello as well. We've got a little bit of signage here. It's been involved in this class for 3 years. SafetyOnline.ie, their website. They do a lot of the racewear for teams, LOH Motorsport and Paul O'Brien's POB for the legends. So a great initiative to keep business in the paddock. A lot of GA clubs are good at that, and rugby clubs are good at that. Motorsport are getting better at it because a lot of people have their own businesses racing Mondello, so a lot of people beginning to use those businesses now and swap a little bit of it. A few referrals and a bit of business networking in the paddock is no harm. So
Final call for all Saints and Irish touring cars, 100%. That's the final call for all Saints and Irish touring cars, please.
a bit of heat in the cars there. Drivers beginning to fan the doors. Mark O'Donoghue and Mick Yeo. Just trying to get any bit of heat they can into these cars. Pretty much all gridded up. 2 newcomers just doing a bit of manoeuvring right at the back. Green flag is being waved. This is not the race. Just one parade lap or warm-up lap. McGovern lights the fronts up to get a bit of heat into them. Just a message in from Ross Archibald, watching from Australia. Ross is sorely missed. He was involved in the running of the Future Classics class. Great man to cut and fabricate him well, so he was very popular around the paddock. But seems to be having a ball in Australia lately, so hopefully he'll be back soon, but maybe not anytime soon, judging by his lifestyle on social media. But great to hear that somebody's tuned in from New South Wales to watch the Beacon Hospital ICCR stream. 2 messages if you're watching. Tell us who you're supporting. Weaving around again. Some people weave around quite a lot to get heat in the tyres. Other people don't want any heat in the tyres at all because they want them to last the whole race. James Byrne doesn't seem to be doing as much weaving as the rest of them. Here's Josh Brown, green and white car. Mick Yo with a wing mirror hanging off. It'll be fixed for race 2 and polished to within an inch of its life, no doubt. Cullen Ann goes through, Laura Hannon, Matthew Tyrrell, Patch the racing driver, Brian Matthews. Brian Matthews and Brenda celebrating 30 years in business this week, actually, with Patch Tire Equipment. They're big partner with Mondello Park. They're great supporters. Motorsport in general, sponsored the McHale family for many years and still do. Currently sponsoring Callum Devine in his hugely successful rallying campaign. And Brian loves the, how will I put it, the social aspect, perhaps even more than the driving. But his car wasn't really up to much, and Ulick Burke has given it a makeover, and it's flying. All he said, he just wants to be in a pack somewhere, and he's right in the pack now. So Brian Matthews will be loving that one for Patch Tire Equipment. There'll be stories told in McCormick's bar tonight in Nace, no doubt. That's him, purple car right centre of the screen there. So here they are, the 2 young guns, Sean McGovern and Dave Maguire. Through Southside Motor Factory corners. Now McGovern's slowing them right down purely because he just doesn't want to be waiting for too long on the grid while they're all getting to their grid spot, so if he can bunch them all up, there'll be less time sitting waiting on the grid. It's almost ready to go. It's 25 Alan Turner, the Jerry Caffrey Motors car, in line at the back. The revs are up, the 5-second board is up, we're ready to go racing. McGovern and Maguire. away they go. Maguire with a slightly better start, but there's not much in it. Once again, Michael Barrable with a cracking start. But Derek Graham on the outside. Barrable chooses the inside line there, and he's right on the back bumper of James Byrne. So Barrable trying to get one up on Derek Graham there, sticks to the inside. Once again, Maguire driven wide on the outside, and that gives Byrne a chance to perhaps steal that second place. They're all clear through Campion corner, and the order is as we were before, isn't it? It's McGovern, Maguire, James Byrne, Michael Barrable, Alan Dawson into the back of Keith Rabbit there on the way down towards turn 3. Derek Graham on the outside, Fishburne on the inside. Derek Graham takes a run down the outside on the brakes, tries to sit round the outside. Dawson again contacts Graham off on the outside, and again contact. Graham bounced off on the outside there in the vehicle screens car. So down into the long left-hander now, McGovern it is. Dave Maguire with James Byrne sticking the nose down the inside, looking for that second place early on here, and I think he's got it. He's alongside, he's got the nose ahead. Next one's a right-hander, though. McGovern will be loving this. Barrable staying to the right. Wants to stay. If Byrne doesn't make it, Barrable will try and get through. That's exactly what's going to happen. Michael Barrable using the head as ever. Byrne is left sitting on the outside, and Barrable is now up to third place and right on the back bumper of Dave Maguire. He always thinks 2 corners ahead, and indeed Rabbit with a great run off that long right-hander Lola corner is going to make that place as well. And Barrable looking to get up the inside now of Maguire, who leaves the door open. Barrable's down the inside, a cracking move, but here comes Keith Rabbit into the side of Barrable. They give each other racing room on the way out now. We'll have a quick look at the ambulance while that battle is happening side by side all the way down the grid. It's the leaders we want to see here. There they are. Look at this. Down the inside is Keith Rabbit, and he gets up to second place. That's incredible stuff. Barrable next up. Then Byrne and Maguire side by side. So absolutely great racing here. But Keith Rabbit, the big winner in that one. Locked wheel on the inside. Barrable tries to get back up the inside of him. Barrable is up the inside. I think of Rabbit here. They grab third gear around here. Rabbit just easing clear, closing the door, not giving much room at all to Barrable there. Barrable always thinking of the championship, and off goes Rabbit on the outside. Barrable should be able to get up the inside. Oh, Keith Rabbit's moving around a lot there. They're big contact. Rabbit's locked up. He's standing on the brakes. Well, I'm not sure what that was, but certainly Rabbit almost came to a halt there trying to slow Barrable down, and that's just caused consternation behind. So Barrable's got that place now, and Rabbit on the inside being given the squeeze by Dawson and Maguire, it looks like, as they come down the main straight. But Barrable's managed to get back up to second place. Dawson up to third place. Fishburne now down the inside of Dawson. Heading for Campion corner. All a little bit hectic, hasn't sorted itself out just yet. They're 2 abreast through Campion corner. And that's James Byrne, and Dawson again just moving to the outside, not giving Byrne any room and getting himself upset on the way back out. So Byrne on the inside now, Maguire on the outside. Oh, James Byrne gets the car out of shape almost. Maguire almost having to go off in avoidance and gets way out of shape again. James Byrne and off on the outside. That's cost him loads of places. Rejoins with full lock on and straight into the side of Fishburne, I think that was, who gets sent off on the far side of the track. That was a little bit wild. Somebody's still doing a little bit of rodeo on the outside. Is that O'Donoghue or Fishburne? I'm not so sure. So Barrable it is now in second place. It was Fishburne. And there he is on the outside of the track. Waved yellows. It's Turner going through. Here comes Barrable through the long right-hander. Dawson, Maguire, then Rabbit, and Derek Graham, who gets a great run through Lola. James Byrne is off just after that. We're going to get another safety car, I'd imagine, here. 3 minutes to go. It could be a red flag. Let's wait and see. Certainly that James Byrne car will have to move. Gonzaga there trying to get by Mark O'Donoghue. Jason O'Connell, that is just in front of him. Then way out in the lead is Sean McGovern. Barrable second. Dawson third under pressure now from young Maguire. Then it's Keith Rabbit. Derek Graham. So O'Connell has reassumed the rookie lead by the look of it. That's him in the black and white car. There we go, second car in view. Still going. Safety car's been dispatched, and McGovern's lead is going to be gone. He had a huge lead, but that's going to box them all right up. That James Byrne car hasn't moved just yet. So safety car's been dispatched. There it is. Just 2 minutes to go. I can't see them making another lap. I think it'll be checkered flag next time round behind the safety car, but that's just me speculating. parked up in, well, certainly the Burn one would be a particularly dangerous position, so that will have to be moved. But just 1 minute 47 on the clock. They're not going to get round to the start line to start one flying lap before 1 minute 47, so that's going to be that. I think this is how it's going to end behind the safety car. So it'll be McGovern from Barrable, Dawson, Maguire, Rabbit, Derek Graham, Mick Keogh, Jason O'Connell will take the rookie win, Eduardo Gonzaga next up, Mark O'Donoghue rounding out the top 10. So yeah, with that, the timer just gone to 0 there, so it looks like that'll be the safety car will just leave them past the checkered flag, and that'll be a race declared from the order they went across the line in on the previous lap, which is McGovern, Barrable, Dawson and all the rest. It's 25 again, Alan Turner, the newbie. McGovern leading them down to outside Motor Factory's corner now, following the safety car. Checkered flag being waved. So that's a win for Sean McGovern. Michael Barrable takes second place. Dawson next up. And Dave Maguire. Keith Rabbit, Derek Graham. Mick Keogh, good run from Mick Keogh. He told me during the week he was aiming for a top 10. He's got it. 7th place for Mick Keogh. He'd be very happy with that one. He won't be so happy about the little bit of damage he has to the car. He's very proud of that car. It's beautifully built. Jason O'Connell, always impressive. Another top 10. Rookies, it's impressive for a rookie to get anywhere near the top 10. He's 8th. Gonzaga climbed to 9th. Mark O'Donoghue back on the pace again, 10th place. Josh Brown, the second rookie, in 11th. Then Richie Byrne, Emma Dempsey, Lorcan McGivney, third rookie. Cole McLaughlin, Garrett Burke, Christian Brennan, Laura Hannon, Kelsey Kirby, Matthew Tyrrell, Stephen Cullinan, Chloe Kellett, Brian Matthews, Evan Harding, Hannah Selsey, Jordan Flanagan and Alan Turner. So there you go, official results for the Zetec Safety Solutions Race 1. Sean McGovern, Michael Barrable, Alan Dawson, Dave Maguire, Keith Rabbit and Derek Graham, and that puts Derek Graham on pole for Race 2 with Keith Rabbit alongside him. There's a recipe for entertainment. Row 2 will be David Maguire and Alan Dawson, and Row 3 will be Michael Barrable and Sean McGovern. Don't miss that one later on the Beacon Hospital live stream here at the ICCR at Mondello Park. That will certainly give us great entertainment. Next up is SEAT Super Cup and the Precision Tint and Graphics ITCC, as we get some of the Fiestas being brought back into the paddock. So we're just going to go to a quick commercial break before we get back racing on track with some faster saloon cars here at Mondello Park.
Continental Tires, Irish Compact Car of the Year 2023. Speaks for itself. The new Opel Astra.
Square left onto the yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Rev it up, rev it up. George, go, go, go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it left, keep it left, keep it left. Come on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Come on, come on, keep going, keep going, keep going.
So we're back racing with some really quick saloon cars. It's the Zetec Super Cup Ireland and the Irish Touring cars on the same grid, so it should be great entertainment here. So Harry McGovern, yes, a McGovern again. It's a good day for the McGovern so far, isn't it? He takes pole position in this one. He's driving really well in this class this year. Very impressive stuff from him. Graham McDonald from Coffee to Go, who's come up from he's a champion in Fiesta STs. He went back and did one race last year in the class just for the laugh and won that as well. He's been very, very quick in Zetec, and he's on the front row. Shane Murphy widely acclaimed to be one of the best drivers in the paddock. Shane Murphy's a former world hot rod champion and multiple champion in this class, and very, very quick, great guy. He's also just taking up rallycross. He's just got hold of a Volkswagen Polo supercar, so we'll be following that with great interest. Sam Mansfield in the DOB car, the Dave O'Brien run car, has been very, very quick. Pole position in Kirkstown recently, I think came second, so Sam right on it as well on the second row of the grid. Watch out for him. Brian Berry, seasoned saloon car racer, going nicely. Eddie Peterson, expect to see Eddie a little bit more towards the pointy end of the grid. Eddie's plenty of talent. He's a multiple five-time, I think, Houston Auto Test champion. He's been quick in everything he's driven. Fiesta STs, very quick in Fiesta STs, won the championship in that. Gary Corcoran, single-seater convert. Dave McGuire, we expect Dave to be up further. Paul Parr, Barry English, Adrian McNally, Tom Cochran and Stephen Marr in the order in this one. I don't think Stephen Marr's out there actually, is he? No. And then it's the Irish touring cars, and Rob Savage in this incredibly quick, beautifully built. I think Campbell Motorsport built this from a Honda Accord. It really is worth a look if you're in the paddock. A lovely car, very well driven by him. Not only is it very quick in a straight line, it's very well set up. It's soaking up all the bumps up in Bishop's Court really, really well. We're watching it out on track there. Cian Walsh, who went so well here last time, watch out for him. Terrible problems with the car, gearbox problems and final drives. He's been rebuilding that in the paddock, never mind at home during the week. Owen Drought, another man with absolute torture this week. The engine, the turbo let go on that Golf, the Mark V Golf GTI, very quick car, and he put a new turbo on it, and then the engine blew on the rolling road on Thursday. So I think Fergus and his team managed to go to Dublin, get the car, bring it back, and put in the original engine that came in the car. It's not a Golf R engine, I think it's a Golf GTI engine, so he reckons he's well down on power, but at least he's out there. But well done to everyone that worked on that car. I know they burnt a lot of midnight oil, and great to see the Ross Cray car dealer back out on track. And it's Gareth Hayden, another man. It's great to see him back out. He had gearbox problems in Bishop's Court in that Civic. Very, very quick driver is Gareth Hayden in the Hayden Transport car. Ian Stryker out there too, newbie. I'm not sure if he made it to the track. He did make it on track. I'm watching him out there. Great stuff. Stephen Martin not there. So we have a few cars there and a few not there. We'll name check them as they trigger the transponder when they go by. But certainly it's been a lot of problems with the ITCC cars, which is unusual, especially with the Hondas. Generally very reliable, but a lot of hard work being gone on. It's great to see a lot of guys helping other guys out with parts and loaning them bits and pieces to get them out there, which is always wonderful to see. Most of the ITCC guys run their own cars, whereas this the Sayat class massively competitive as well, but the cars teams involved in running these cars. So Murray Motorsport very much involved. Morgan Dempsey running that McGovern car, and Murray Motorsport running the McGuire car. And look at the aggressive angle that the Coffee to Go car is pointed at there. It's just heading straight across. He's lined that car up, no lock on, but it's definitely pointed to the right. If he gets the jump, he's going to slam that door shut. Watch for Shane Murphy, always a danger man, 970 on the second row of the grid. Equally Sam Mansfield, very, very quick driver in the DOB Sports Cars car, Dave O'Brien's new Porsche specialist business in West Dublin. Going really well for him. He's running that Finnstown Properties car on row 2. Peterson's car's like new, you can see the nose of it pointing through. Never discount Eddie Peterson. Brian Berry, Corcoran, McGuire, Parr, English, McNally and Cochran making up this one. The Irish touring guy's a little bit slower to come into place. Watch out for Drought in the Golf. He tends to be the master of the standing start in this class. Although a lot of the ITCC cars nowhere near their starting marks, none of them for some reason. But that Golf very, very quick off the line. He should be able to have a go at those two Hondas in front, but let's wait and see. Away they go, just to say it's neck and neck now. Just waiting for the ITCCs to go. Front two men neck and neck. It's McGovern just about on the inside, has to go back at him on the brakes though. ITCC cars away off the grid now behind them. So McGovern it is, right under his back wing now is that Mansfield? No, it's Murphy. That's Murphy. Apologies. That's Murphy up to second place. McGovern in third. Mansfield fourth. Then it's Berry. Then it's Peterson. McGuire. All the rest coming through. Fantastic stuff. Look at Shane Murphy up to second place already and weaving around behind McGovern. It was wet qualifying. It's dry now. The back of McGovern's car. Let's go on cold tyres. He did well to hang on to that. They don't have much luck, these cars. They're proper factory built touring cars. And McGovern held on to that one well, but that could have gone around very easily. Cold rear tyres, always an issue on these cars. You've just got to watch out as they head down through Lola corner for the first time. McGovern gets up the inside of McGovern. McGovern looks like he can't lean on the back of that car just yet. three abreast now. McGovern beginning to drop back. I wonder if he's got a problem, or is it just those rear tyres aren't up to temperature yet? Because Berry's now down the inside of him as they head towards 7A and B. A bad opening lap for McGovern. Sam Mansfield having to go around the outside there, is it? Murphy's got the lead now somehow. So Murphy leads from McDonald, Mansfield, Berry, Peterson, Maguire, and McGovern still dropping back. He's down the inside trying to hang on to a place there. A little bit of contact and two cars go round. That's Corcoran and Paul Parr, I think. As McNally through the gravel in avoidance. But normal service resumed up front here. It's Shane Murphy back at the front. It was English actually, very English, it wasn't Parr. So already out of turn 3. There's McGovern all on his own. Not sure what happened with McGovern, but he doesn't look to have any pace. I wonder if there's a problem with the cars, or puncture or something like that, because normally he has loads of pace and was very quick in qualifying. Was wet in qualifying though, so who knows. But it's Shane Murphy from Graham McDonald and Sam Mansfield now is the order. I've got the brake horsepower showing up on the screen now. They run different ECUs depending on where you qualify. So Shane Murphy was doing all the winning in this class. So you're pegged back a little bit if you take first 3 in pole or in a race. That's been trying to get by McDonald now. So Shane Murphy is 330 brake. McDonald only has 320. Sam Mansfield is 340 brake, as do all the cars behind him except Harry McGovern on 310 because he was on pole position. There's Owen Drought going through. Gareth Hayden going through. Ian Stryker there. That beautiful red car, the Integra. First time out with the class, and has had problems with the car during the week, but all sorted out now. So here they come out onto the main straight. It's Murphy, McDonald, Mansfield, Berry, Peterson, Maguire. Big gap back to McGovern. Let's see if McGovern's gone any quicker this time round. Yeah, he has 152. He was out over 2 minutes last time round, but certainly has got the car up to speed, I think, now. And it's McGovern well up, Paul Parr, Barry English, Adrian McNally going by. And Corcoran has fallen back into the clutches of the ITCC brigade. Big lock up there from Mansfield, I think that is. Third place drives him a little bit wide, and Berry beginning to pile the pressure on him now. Then it's Eddie Peterson. That distinctive Peterson's car's like new car. So back with the Seats again. We're just looking at the ITCC times there as well. They're closing up just a little bit behind them, but the Seats are still bunched together. Good stuff. These factory-built left-hand drive touring cars. There's paddle shift on the gear lever. Drivers absolutely love them. They're about €30,000 to buy, or €35,000, but they've been that for about 5 years. They're not a bad investment. They don't depreciate. And certainly the drivers that race them absolutely love them. So it's Murphy, McDonald, Mansfield, Berry, Peterson and Maguire, the top 6. Peterson and Maguire, they are locked in combat, the two Murray Motorsport cars. There's McGovern still with them, still in touch, but certainly slower. He's down to a 51.3, but that's a full second off what the leaders are doing. And Harry McGovern shouldn't be a second off those guys. Oh, the car on its roof. That's Tom Gockard, I think, down at turn 1. He's been over. So that'll be a red flag straight away. There's yellows being shown at the start finish now. There are red flags out. So race has been stopped. Very unusual. You get one of those cars over. So they must have had a big tangle down at turn 1. So 42% of the race done. So we will get a restart. So they're just clearing up the incident down at turn 1. And while they're doing that, we'll take a quick commercial break on the Beacon Hospital live stream here at the ICCR at Mondello Park.
Continental Tires, Irish Compact Car of the Year 2023. Speaks for itself. The new Opel Astra.
Square left onto the out. Yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Level up, level up. Go there. Go, go, go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. Come on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Come on, come on, keep going, keep going, keep going.
So we're back live on the live stream here at Mondello Park, thanks to the Beacon Hospital. Just having a great chat with Paddy Glass and Brian Tudor joining me in the commentary box. Plenty of Mondello history with those two men. We're talking about the historic festival coming up next month. Well worth a visit here at Mondello Park. But long before that, we're going back racing again with these high-performance tin tops. Just going down through the grid, we're missing Owen Drought in the golf. He had just matched the times of the cars in front of him, but was well back, I think, in third place there. But he's not joining on the grid, so I'm not sure where he is. He wasn't involved in that incident, certainly down at turn 1. But we're just regridding the ITCC cars. This is going to be a restart, a 7-minute restart. And it's the grid as they finished. So Shane Murphy, 970, will start on pole position. 48, McDonald alongside him. So McGovern right at the back pretty much, well down the pack anyway. Our pole sitter from race 1. So it shouldn't take too long to regrid these cars. Then we'll have a green flag lap and then we'll go racing once again at Mondello Park.
Attention pilots, can we clear the pit wall, and please remove the buggy from the pit lane. Please remove the buggy from the pit lane, they're not allowed. You in the white t-shirt on the pit lane, that includes you. And the lady with the buggy, please remove from the pit lane. The lady with the buggy, please remove from the pit lane. Thank you very much.
Green flag is waved. We're off on the warm-up lap. Say it's Super Cups, 340 brake horsepower, 6-speed box, paddle shift, Hankook slick tyres. First time using them this year. Good grid of these cars. Talk of one or two more joining the party soon. Let's hope McGovern can get back up to speed in this one. Certainly terrible first run for him by his standards. ITCC cars, it's Rob Savage, Cian Walsh, Stuart Curran, Gareth Hayden and Ian Stryker. Great sound effects popping and banging on the overrun from these Zetec as they weave around on the international loop up Kennedy's Rise, now heading for the Lola, the fast right-hand corner. Then out onto the back straight. There's the Irish touring cars at the top of your screen, the two black Hondas at the front. That's Rob Savage in the Accord. No, that's not. That's Cian Walsh, sorry, in the Civic. Rob Savage in the Accord, and Gareth Hayden in the Civic. Stuart Curran in that beautiful Integra, and Ian Stryker first day out in the class in that red. It's like, there's the own drought car. So obviously just ground to a halt. Terrible luck with that car this year. Plenty of pace. Win at the first Mondello in it, but no luck since. That'll be his second non-finish of the year, I think. Getting ready to go now. It's Super Cup Ireland. They've done the warm-up lap and it's time to go racing. A 7-minute restart. Shane Murphy, former world hot rod champion, 970 on pole position. Former Fiesta ST champion in the Coffee to go car is Graham McDonald. Then it's Sam Mansfield, Brian Berry, Eddie Peterson, Dave Maguire, Harry McGovern, Paul Parr, Barry English. Who are we missing there? We're missing a few cars. I know we're missing Tom Cochran. We have footage of that incident. We'll show that later on. They're getting ready to go. ITCC behind them, just 4 or 5 cars, all that's left. The ITCC grid, they've had a few dropped off as well in the first part of this race. Away they go, and Murphy nails a good start, no surprise there. How they go down towards turn 1, Shane Murphy it is leading in the Turvis gas car. No mistakes. McGovern gets in behind him. Berry with a look around the outside. Can he get around the outside of Sam McGovern? Sam doesn't think so. A little bit of contact, and Peterson gets by both of them. And Peterson gets turned around at Campion Corner, and they're off backwards. 2 cars, 3 cars. It's all action today at Mondello Park, isn't it? Whatever happened there. It looked like Peterson had made it around the outside, but we had an odd view of that situation, so I'm sure that'll be watched further later on. ITCC cars all clear and all away. Medical car just following them around for the opening lap. Already out at turn 3 now. Big stream of Zetec coming back towards the main arena. Shane Murphy it is with a good lead. Then McDonald and a big gap back to Dave Maguire. And McGovern is back up there. Then it looks like, is that Corcoran, Parr, Peterson, English and Berry. So it's all turned around. Whatever happened at turn 2 there. Not sure if we could have a look at that again. But turn 1 and turn 2. Very, very exciting stuff in Zetec. And that's just turned the order upside down as Peterson tries to get up the inside there of Paul Parr. Using all that inside curve, that's why the tyres have to be there. These cars in particular, they would just drive straight over that if they got the chance at all. Proper touring cars. That's Sam Mansfield all on his own to the back there. He got, I think he was reversed off the track as well at Campion Corner in that one. So I'm sure that's not the end of that. There's Brian Berry, one of the Murray Motorsport cars. Very distinctive colours. If somebody locks up and goes sideways, that's Peterson off on the outside. Well, Peterson's car won't be like new if he keeps that up, but there's none of this bothering the leader, Shane Murphy. That's Mansfield. He's all on his own. That's Maguire, McGovern. Big lock-up for somebody there. Oh, McGovern, he's gone straight on. We've missed it there at the bottom of the screen. McGovern right off. He's back on, but that cost him a couple of places. There he is. So way back, a big lock-up on the way to the corner. McGovern having big troubles today. The order now, Shane Murphy, Graham McDonald, Dave Maguire, Gary Corcoran up to 4th place. Great stuff. Harry McGovern, Paul Parr, Brian Berry, Barry English, Eddie Peterson and Sam Mansfield. And a big battle for ITCC on the main straight. Now Savage going by, but he hasn't got a big lead because 0.3 of a second behind him is Cian Walsh. The 2 Hondas battling mightily up the front in ITCC. Stuart Curran going through, and Ian Stryker, the only runner in the Honda Cup. So he's looking good for that one if he can get to the finish line. Mind you, a race of attrition today, a race meeting of attrition perhaps so far. Murphy now with McDonald balancing the gap. Maguire going nicely in 3rd. And Corcoran be delighted if he can hang on to that 4th place. Gary Corcoran doesn't have as much saloon experience as a lot of these drivers around him. He's Formula Shane was his background, single-seaters. Did a little bit of supercars as well. Just the car run right out, Corcoran to the outside. McGovern trying to get back on terms with him, then Parr and Berry. Berry getting a run off that final corner there. And gets down the inside. Door being closed a little bit late, I think, there by Parr, but Berry backs out of it anyway. Thought he was down the inside there, but it's always a contentious place to pass. 7A, or usually 7B is where the action happens, isn't it? So I think we're going to be able to have a look back in a moment at what happened at turn 2 that shuffled this grid upside down. So let's have a look at that slow motion, maybe replay of lap 1, turn 1 and 2. Here we are. Watch up front. Look at Peterson. He's got up the inside or the right hand side. They've driven each other wide. There's contact there on the left between Mansfield and Berry. Peterson gets round the outside of them, but he catches the front of Mansfield's car. That turns him and it turns Sam Mansfield. That's what we see here. There's Peterson going off and Mansfield backwards down the escape road on the outside. So it wasn't really any malice. Peterson was trying to get by them. He had a run and he was almost clear, but as soon as he turned in, just contact with Sam Mansfield's front bumper, and that sent them both around. So it wasn't the case of anyone spinning out. Great job by See It Live there to be able to go and watch that back, but that's what happened there. So no malice. You just saw the touring cars there, and they're still battling away, the 2 black Hondas. But this is a good battle now. Murphy well ahead, 1.6 to the good. McGovern's car all over the place, doesn't look well at all. There's obviously some problem with that car. Harry McGovern doesn't look comfortable in the car at all. But he has got into 5th place ahead of Parr, Berry, English, Peterson and Mansfield. Dave Maguire with fastest lap now at 50.232. And there he is, he's latched onto the back of... That's not part of English, he's down the inside of him, I think. That's his teammate. It is Barry English. There was a second between them at the start-finish lines. Peterson's caught him and I think probably got by him. There's Murphy going through 7A and 7B. Maguire with fastest lap in 3rd place is closing down Graham McDonald. He was half a second quicker last time round. Then it's Corcoran going beautifully. Oh, Barry English looked like he was recovering there. Peterson had gone by him, so let's have a look at that. I think that's dropped them both back. There must have been a little bit of contact there. We just changed view as it happened. There's Parr going a bit wide. Parr, Berry, Peterson, the order now. Peterson very much on a charge here. He's right under the back wing of Berry now as they come back towards us. McGovern beginning to get settled down in 5th and has closed down Corcoran a little bit. Parr goes to the inside, Berry to the outside. Peterson chooses the outside as well to try and get a run at both of them on the exit. Parr will be a little bit slower surely on the exit here. He is, and Berry gets up the inside. He's side by side. Berry's got the job done. Beautifully executed there by Brian Berry. He made Parr defend and went high and wide and did that switchback. Parr using the head though, gets in behind him instead of challenging him around the outside because he doesn't want Peterson going by 2. Gets a lot of understeer there at Parr, mid-corner. Sam Mansfield closing these guys down too. He's quicker than all of them on the last lap. The DOB Sports Cars machine. And Finstown Properties. So Murphy, McDonald, Maguire, the top 3 at the moment. This is where the action is. Oh, big lock up there for Peterson. Tries to close down Paul Parr. Walsh has got ahead of Savage that time round. The touring car lead. 21 seconds to run in this one, so probably on their last lap. McGovern down the inside there, but leaves the door open, or does he? No, he doesn't quite. Corcoran very gentlemanly there, doesn't charge into the side of him as some people do. 7B, as we said, could be such a contentious corner, but that was good racing between those two. McGovern just flicks it into Bahrain's Benz. He's getting comfortable with the car now. It certainly looked a bit, it didn't look settled earlier on. It looks great now. And it looks like Peterson's got by Paul Parr, so Sam Mansfield now trying to have a go, but the checkered flag is going to be ready here. It is ready just below me, and it looks like it's going to be yet another win for Shane Murphy. With 330 horsepower, 10 down on the bigger ones. He takes the win. 2nd place, great drive from Graham McDonald, and Dave Maguire charging to 3rd with fastest lap. Good recovery drive from McGovern. Won't be happy with that though. The 4th place, Gary Corcoran driving very well in 5th. And it's Perry. Peterson gets by Parr, and Mansfield right with them too. Who's it going to be in touring cars? I think it's Cian Walsh. It is. Here comes Cian Walsh. There he is out over the exit curb. The black Honda at the top of your screen coming down to win in the Irish Touring Cars. Great stuff from Cian Walsh, driving beautifully this year. Rob Savage slowed down a lot on the last lap. I wonder is it the heat? That car gave trouble in the heat here the last time, but certainly he lost a lot of time and the lead, and finishing 5.4 seconds back. A good battle for 3rd overall though, because Garrett Hayden, who's in Super Touring, is going to take 3rd. But just about, because Ian Stryker is in the Honda Cup on road tyres. And does he get alongside? He does. Ian Stryker out-drags Garrett Hayden to the line there. Incredible stuff. So great drive from Ian Stryker first day out. Good to see Garrett Hayden back after his gearbox woes. So small numbers but good racing in ITCC. It's a win for Cian Walsh and a Honda Cup win for Ian Stryker. So great stuff from the fastest tin tops in the paddock today. We'll now be taking a short break for lunch, and we'll be back after lunch with the Dunshaughlin Motor Company Formula Boss Ireland Championship.
Continental Tires, Irish Compact Car of the Year 2023. Speaks for itself. The new Opel Astra.
Square left onto Luke. Yeah, that's good. Good drive. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Rev it up, rev it up. Roger, go, go, go. One right, immediately followed by a 5 right. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. Come on, keep on, keep on, keep on. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Come on, come on, keep going, keep going, keep going.